The Teen Phantom Part 9. Tyke, I don't want to intrude, but I would truly like to go with you kids to Trout Lake. Charlotte is on her feet very quickly. You would? Jane jumps up, taking Charlotte in her arms, and heads out of the bathroom as Charlotte says, I planned to ask you, but I didn't get my courage up yet. As she sits her little sister in the recliner, there is a knock at the door. Who is it? It is Nikki. Come on in, Nikki. Nikki slowly makes her way through the door. She closes it behind her with a strange, cautious look on her face. It is so good to see you again, Nikki, Jane says. Nikki speaks slowly, almost as if she was in a fog, probing in the darkness, unsure of what to say. You too, Jane. Jane walks over to Nikki. She hugs her and with much emotion saying, I truly love you, Nikki. Then she returns to Charlotte. She takes Charlotte's hands and pulls her to her feet, leading Charlotte to her recliner. She sits down and pulling Charlotte into her lap. Have a chair, Nikki. Tyke and I are making up for lost time. Would you mind if I went with you girls this weekend? Nikki is stunned and speechless. She stands there as if she has lost it. Eventually, her expression turns to a vague smile. You are kidding. Then with a sigh, she drops herself into the recliner. I have never been more serious, Nikki. That is great, but I can scarcely believe it. After hearing Charlotte screaming, I was fearful of what I would have to face when I came in, and now you two sit there like lovers. Nikki, Charlotte and I have never fought or argued, and we never will. She is like my own little girl. Charlotte was just upset with the way Mom acts and thinks. I told her some mean things about Mom. I was so worried when I heard you, but Dad said you are tough, that you would come through. You have never been as upset and yelling as you did. I have been talking to Dad, that is why I was this long getting here, and dreading what I may face. A strange expression comes over Jane's face. You have a dad, Nikki? I mean, he was killed, wasn't he? Nikki looks at Jane seriously. Yes, he was. I was speaking of our dad. We three are like sisters, Jane. That doesn't offend you, does it? I call my biological father, father. Jane looks down at her little sister as if she is looking for an explanation. You do not mind sharing Dad with her, do you? She feels like my own sister. Dad has been a father to her. Nikki loves you like a sister, and we are just a happy little family now. Jane looks back up at Nikki with a kind smile. It is great now, but in the past it would have hurt. I have been so jealous of you, Nikki. You have been more of a sister to Charlotte than I have. I have always liked you a lot, even though Mom made snide remarks about your family. I learned later, she knew nothing about your family. It was just imagination and hearsay. Charlotte can feel those red-hot embers again. Please, Jane, don't put the torch to me any more tonight. I hurt when you expose Mom's way of thinking. I don't hate Mom, I just hurt. Jane looks down at her little sister with great compassion. I am so sorry, Tyke. No, you don't hate Mom, and I understand your feelings. I know Mom gets very upset with Dad, but Dad loves Mom very much. To be understanding is not the only part of love. You must be solid and unmoved when it comes to facts and truth in honesty. That is the way Dad is. Dad is kind but direct and honest. The three of them visit for a little while, making up for lost time. Charlotte, Dad said Jane should be let in on some of the secrets, especially the necklace and earrings. He wants to leave it all to you though. He says she is prepared to face reality now. He has a set for her. I have them here with me. Jane looks into Charlotte's face with a look showing a little stress. You want to try them on? That's the best way to find out. Jane is perhaps a bit stressed. What could they be but earrings and a necklace? Jane, are you unaware of the subtle and elusiveness of Dad and me? You know they are not for looks. If so, I would not wear them. I detest thing hanging on my ears. Well, do you want to try them, or does Mom's conscience get the better of you? It doesn't matter what mom thinks, I want to try them on, I am not living by mom's conscience anymore. Charlotte jumps up and fetches the little case from Nikki. Nikki turns and heads out the door. Charlotte returns to Jane, putting the earrings and necklace on Jane. Charlotte takes hers out of their case, and she puts them on and sits in the recliner facing Jane. You would look very nice if your hair was fixed like Nikki's. You sound different, Tyke. It is strange, you sound like a little voice in my head. Where did Nikki go, Tyke? I am here in our office, Jane. And I am downstairs in the living room, Jane. This is the neatest thing I have ever known. You are the greatest dad in the whole world. Mom could be happy if she would stop long enough to see the real world and the blessings that lurk in the simple places. Dad, will you let Mom know I will not be working my shift at school this weekend? I want to go with Nikki and Tyke. I will, Jane. We will find one to replace you. You deserve a lot of time off. You have been more than faithful at school and you have sacrificed much of your life for your mother. It is about time you were taking some time for your own life. It is time you were in bed if you are leaving early tomorrow. You need your rest. Good night, girls. Good night, Dad. Good night, Dad. Sweet dreams, Dad. Tyke, would you girls sleep with me tonight? I suppose you noticed I have a king-size bed. I would like that, Jane, and yes, a king-size bedroom too. Tyke, you look very tired, you go to bed and let Nikki and I get everything ready and loaded. Jane turns to the door. Is that okay with you, Nikki? It sounds great to me, Jane. Charlotte, would you call the boys before you go to sleep? Yes, I will, Charlotte says as Nikki comes through the door. Jane looks at her little sister with a big smile. I will have to get used to this. I have you both in my head anywhere you are. Shortly Jane and Nikki leave. Charlotte goes to her room. She manages a quick shower. She slips into her pajamas and finds herself on her back in Jane's bed, staring at the ceiling. A little later, Charlotte reaches for the phone as she decides to call Jim first. She will let Jim contact Lee to save her some time. Jim is excited about going to Trout Lake. Charlotte waits a few minutes before she calls Mello. Her life seems to be getting complicated. When she does call Mello, she is not all that relaxed. She doesn't know why. She finally calls him. This is Mello speaking. This is Charlotte. Did I wake you? Yes, it is pleasant. I don't mind. I retire early and rise early. I am truly sorry, Charlotte. I have some bad news. I will not be available this weekend, perhaps not until Monday morning at the Little Cliff. I will have my little buggy. Charlotte is very confused. Charlotte needs to see Mello before Monday. That little sis of mine is one determined sweet kid. What is so humiliating? She usually knows what she is doing, though sometimes it makes no sense to me. She called me just after I got home. She said she needed me to escort her. She would not tell me where. She just says, "It is beautiful this time of year. We will be seeing some old and new dear friends and you will be very happy." That is probably word for word. She said she would like to come with me Monday morning to meet you girls though. Charlotte thinks to herself as if she was grumbling out loud. Mello's little sis is a conniving little brat. She is probably such a sweet little thing. Mello pampers her. It is sad news, but I will survive. I am very tired. I am in bed, so I will let you get back to sleep now. Sweet dreams, Mello. Good night, Charlotte. Again Charlotte begins her silent grumbling. If I let myself, I would be very upset. I do not see how Mello can miss the biggest day of the school for something his little sis wants him to do. How could it be that important? I was planning for Mello to make the speech. Now it looks like I am stuck with it. Charlotte gazes at the ceiling, thinking of how sweet Agape must be. Why am I not grumbling about her being a little brat? Then she fades away to her slumber dream world. The next morning Charlotte emerges from sleep in Jane's arms. She has a fuzzy memory of Jane cuddling her in her arms most of the night. Jane and Nikki are dressed and ready to go now. I love you so much, Tyke, and she kisses her little sister on the cheek. I love you very much too, Jane. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Nikki. When Charlotte completely focuses her eyes, the sight startles her. What happened to your hair, Jane? I put it in a shoebox. I am saving it. It is 3 feet long. Nikki cut it for me before we went to bed last night. I still have plenty on my head. Can you imagine how light my head feels? Yes, I can. You look gorgeous, Jane. You think so? I have been freed from my ball and chain. You truly have, Jane, in ways not seen with the eye. We are going to the kitchen to fix breakfast and lunch. You get yourself dressed, ready to go. Take your time, it is still early. With a sweet smile, Jane turns and heads for the door with Nikki trailing her. Nikki turns back before she closes the door and gives Charlotte a big smile. Charlotte had never seen Nikki so excited and happy. I know she loves Jane very much. By the time Charlotte is finished getting ready, Jane and Nikki have everything ready and in the van. Jane has not started the van yet, they are just sitting and talking. Jane, these 2 friends of Nikki's who are going with us is my friends too. I have been putting off telling you about them. They have worked with us for over 3 years, they help with all of our movies and do research for us for some other things we do. Your movies, have you made more than the one? I thought it was just a hobby. The first was sort of a hobby, that was a long time ago. We have made 6 professional movies since then. They are not just wildlife, they include a lot of ecology too. Jane stares at her little sister with doubt and shock. Do you sell them? Yes, we do. Not me personally, I have never sold any. How much do you charge for them? I don't know, Dad takes care of all the business part, not personally, he has someone he knows, they take care of it for us, we just do the part which we like to do. You don't even know who takes care of your business? No, I have no reason to know. Do you know how many you sell? No, I have never even thought about it. Dad did say a while back that the sales were very high, he didn't say how many. You must have a lot of money then, don't you know that? No, I do not want to know, we always have a plenty to do the things we need to do, that is all that matters. If it is quite expensive, I have asked Dad if it would be okay until he told me it was not necessary to ask, to just get whatever I needed. I don't want to think about money, I don't want to waste it either. I may splurge a little when I buy material for my dresses, I don't know what it cost, some of it looks expensive. I let Beth make all the decisions, she buys all the material, I don't have the time, she may be excessive, I trust her, she knows everything about it and all about making the dresses, she still helps me a lot, especially if I am very busy with the other things I do. Some look almost as nice as the ones we buy at those rip-off shops, as you call them. Here you have been making them all. Those you have seen are like everyday dresses, my best dresses I usually wear only when I travel out of the country. On some Beth did most of it, I was so busy at the time. I may spend more than I would like to, on hats, but I really don't know what I pay for them. Beth sees to that too, I don't have the time to run around to find them. Beth makes some for me. My Stetson was expensive, I saw the price tag on that, I really needed it, I had no choice. Jane looks as though she has just witnessed a disaster. Hats, you wear hats, and a Stetson, I have never seen you with a hat, just those silly little baseball caps.